Hey everybody, Tall Paul here with Left-Handed Knife Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the QSP Penguin. Let's get right into it. Let's start off with our facts and figures. The QSP Penguin has just over a 3-inch blade made out of D2 steel running on washers. The scales in this model are made out of micarta. They're affixed to a stainless steel liner, and the handle measures in right over 4 inches. At the time of this review, this knife sells for $29.66 on Blade HQ. We're going to put a few items on the table for size comparison, as the actual dimensions of the knife will appear on the screen. First up, we have another approximately $30 option, the Ontario Rat Model 2, followed up by our unsharpened Dixon Ticonderoga pencil, and we will round this batch off with the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Next up, we'll talk about me and Larry's experience while using the knife. Overall, the Penguin was very nice to use. The micarta has a good texture to it, which gave us a pretty secure grip. The size of the handle gave our hands almost enough room, and we were able to hold the knife comfortably in a couple of ways. This knife has good consistent lockup, and overall, our time spent with the QSP Penguin was very positive. Let's look at what the Penguin succeeds at. The blade is a flat ground sheep's foot blade, and it really does cut incredibly well. The knife excels at EDC tasks, especially ones that don't involve you cutting against the surface, but doing things either in the hand or cutting something that's in the air. Larry did a little bit of food prep with the Penguin. He was peeling some potatoes, and this knife really excelled at that task. Then there's the price. For $30, you're getting a D2 steel blade, micarta scales, with a really nice action. $30 is really the lowest price that you can find a knife that would be considered acceptable. The Penguin is well above acceptable. In this price range, you have the Rat 1, the Rat 2, a few CRGB models that we've had our hands on, some imitation knives like your Gonzos and such. This knife really holds one of the top spots among these knives, if not the top, and it really does well compared to some knives that are $10 or $20 more than it. Let's move on to what the Penguin struggled with. The Penguin really struggled with one thing, and that was the ergos for me. The blade is perfectly straight. When you wrap 4 fingers around the handle, these two little kind of bumps kind of end up squeezing your fingers together, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. You can remedy this by either holding it with a little chef's knife hold or wrapping your finger on top of this front bump out. And on the other side, ergonomically, this pocket clip is a good pocket clip, but this point does stick up quite a bit and it doesn't flatten out, so it is a little bit pokey when it is in the hand, or if you're really gripping it, it does poke into your hand pretty hard. Next up, we have our points of note. Points of note are neutral things between successes and struggles that we want to mention. Pocket clip is a deep carry pocket clip. The screws are actually recessed, which is really nice. Thumb studs stick up a good amount on the blade, so it is very easy to find purchase. Also, this knife handles a lot smaller than a 3.125 inch knife. The sheep's foot kind of design definitely makes it feel like a little bit of a smaller knife in the hand. This, on top of the general look of the knife, makes this knife not as scary in some circumstances. Alright, let's talk about everything that's left. This is the part of the review we talk about everything left-handed. Pocket clip is able to be switched from the left to right-handed side easily. This is a liner lock, and it is, for a left-handed individual, an okay liner lock. There's a little bit of ribbing here. There's a good amount of space to get your finger in there to move it across. You do not have to worry about the ability to manipulate the liner. The cutout for a right-handed individual is significantly larger than the one for the left-handed individual. I have not noticed it impeding my ability to open the knife, but if I do go back and forth left-handed to right-handed opening it, I do notice that it is slightly more difficult to get your finger in there, but the thumb studs definitely do kind of aid in opening the knife for a left-handed individual. They do stick up above the scales. They do stick up above the scales, so it is very easy to get a thumb behind it for either a left or a right-handed individual, which is nice. All right, let's talk about recommending this knife and our final thoughts. We recommend the QSP Penguin for anybody looking for a budget knife that is a really good deal for the money. D2 steel, micarta scales, at $30, I do not know if this knife can be beat. Another option that a lot of people go to for their first knife is the Ontario Rat in D2 steel. Again, D2 blade, this one has the G10 handles. I prefer the Penguin in a lot of EDC tasks versus the Rat. I believe the ergos on the Rat are a little bit better, just for a guy with bigger hands, but for cutting and what would end up in my pocket every day, it would be the QSP Penguin over the Rat 2 most days. This knife is also a really good knife for both left and right handers. You are going to have the normal liner lock left-handed issues where you're going to have to drag your thumb across the path of the blade to get it to shut. But if you're looking for a knife and you're looking to spend $30, you can't go wrong with the Penguin. Thank you for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe for more great knife content, and we'll see you next time.